Hello everyone, my name is Keegan Lapierre,
And I'm Aiden again.
and our idea was to create a universal, Our idea was to create a universal cash deposit ATM system. So, universal cash deposit ATM services looks to provide an all-around service for all banking users. We look to provide everyone the capability of depositing their hard-earned cash into their account at any time from any ATM location.
Our mission is to provide a universal cash depositing service that is incorporated into every ATM. We look to work with existing banks and ATM providers, as well as provide our own ATMs in convenient locations for our users. Our plan is to sell our universal cash deposit system to banks. Our service would be set up in such a way that it would allow for users to deposit money into their bank accounts from any ATM, regardless of that ATM's bank affiliation. Users would be charged a small service fee whenever they make a deposit into their ATM, and that service fee would be split between our company and the owner of said ATM, therefore incentivizing banks and ATMs to buy our software and use our service. And we hope that within 2 to 3 years, once it becomes profitable to do so, we can even make our own ATMs so that we're taking 100% of that service fee. Our goals, well, our immediate goal is to acquire funding, and we hope to do this through finding investors and applying for business loans, as well as competing in competitions such as this one. Once we acquire that funding, we will then move into the development phase, where we will create the necessary software. In order to do this, we need to create a team of skilled developers. Once we have the software in place, we can then make our business public and form an LLC and obtain any necessary patents or copyrights. Oh, and once we've done that, we hope to purchase our own ATMs in the future. Oh, and when we also, after we've become an LLC, we need to reach out to banks to convince them to use our service. Factors for success. So one major factor is that we need banks to be interested in our idea, because if they don't like our idea and they don't want to use our service, then it won't work. Another factor is we need to acquire the necessary funding to actually develop the software. We need to create flawless and secure software that can be easily implemented into ATMs. It's important that the software is flawless, because since we are dealing with people's money, there would be serious legal ramifications if an error were to occur. We also, after we go to the banks and get them to use our service, we then need to lead a marketing campaign to raise awareness for our service so that people know that they can go to any ATM and deposit money into their bank accounts. So a lot of our factors for success are also our risks. One risk is that banks won't be interested in our idea. Another risk is that we won't receive the necessary funding to actually develop our software. Another risk, I already talked about, possible software malfunctions. It's important that our software is airtight. There's new competition, which I'll talk about later in the presentation, and also another risk is that banks might implement this service separate from us, and they won't use our company.
Awesome. So UCD ATM Services plans to provide a service to both existing banks and banking users. For banks, we want to provide a software service that handles the payments to users of their ATMs who don't actually have a bank account with that bank. We plan to set up a payment system similar to Venmo, where money is deposited directly into your bank account. And on the statement for the user's bank account, it'll read something like UTM or UCD ATM deposit, K number, which is kiosk number, 123 or whatever it may be. So for the technology, the software we would create to accomplish our goal would handle sending money directly to the banking user's specified bank account. and assessing the total fee charged to the banking user and splitting that fee amongst ourselves and the bank. So our software will be developed using Java and C++ code, which is what regular ATM functions use to create their software. So how our service is unique, currently banks with cash deposit ATMs only allow users of that specific bank to make cash deposits into their bank account. Banks have the capability of creating a universal service, however, we haven't seen any do so far. And I'm assuming it's because it may take away resources from them or it's just not viable for them. So banks may possibly benefit from a third-party company by gaining revenue from these services without having to do any of the work. For the pricing strategy, we'd set it up to where for deposits up to $60, we would charge a $3 minimum fee, and then deposits over $60, we would charge a 5% fee to the user. So for our market analysis, the target market we aim to attract are individuals who earn cash margins, such as servers, bartenders, and tip wage earners. Currently, there's 3.7 million of those workers in the U.S. We aim to attract around 20 to 30% of those workers within the first 2 to 3 years of business. And in order to gain that percentage of the target market, we need to have as many banks on our side as possible. Should we keep going?
We're at time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we're at time. Yep, so we'll go ahead and move to questions.
How long do you see development of that software?
How long will it take?
Yes.
Probably around 2 weeks to anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months, maybe.
With a dedicated team of developers.
Yeah, so we were looking to find developers on Upwork.com, and our estimated cost on that would be $3,200 to $8,000, depending on how long it takes. The average daily price they charge is around $55 to $60 an hour.
How'd you guys come up with this idea?
I'm currently a user of USAA, and there's no banks up here for USAA, and I'm a bartender, so I can't really deposit cash in my account. So I'd love to have a service to where I can do that.
Have you done any market analysis to see where the dynamics of this is going? Is cash increasing deposits at ATMs? Is it decreasing?
I haven't found any information on that, unfortunately. It's really
I mean, it's definitely it's obvious that the world's getting increasingly cashless every year. But there are certain services like bartenders and servers who, there's really not a cashless solution for them yet. So we should get a system in place to help them out and allow them to deposit money into their bank accounts.
Would your idea be that the machines are functional as regular ATMs as well as that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there any thoughts on, as you took a look at these certain areas or certain places where you would target the ATMs that would have this functionality as opposed to everywhere?
Well, specifically in areas where there's a lot of restaurants and bars, obviously, and people who are in cash really, so probably like lower class towns, I guess. Like, that makes sense? Because they end up, they typically handle things with cash more than card.
Okay. Thank you.